Okay, so this is the folder for nav. Okay, I've already installed nav 2018, so I'm going to repeat the process for 2016. Everything is completely same. You don't have to worry about it. So you run the setup file as administrator. Okay, so you accept the terms again. Nobody reads the terms, right? So you have two options here. You have install demo and choose an installation option. So the installation of demo means that if you click this, the system will install all the prerequisites by itself, and it will install an express version of Microsoft SQL. What it means is that express version is a compact version of SQL with minimum functionality, and it is just for the use for the purpose of creating a database structure in your system and deploying an application above it. So this is going to be a very limited in terms of SQL. It's going to be very limited, but in terms of Navision, it will install the Navision completely with the demo database. But if you select on choose an application installation option, here you have three different components. You have the client, the server, the developer. So what I'm going to show you here is I'm going to go to the custom, and this is where I can say the magic happens. Okay, so this is where you decide how you want to install your Microsoft Dynamics Nav. Okay. Okay. So I'll tell you which components are important for which structure. Okay. So if you are going to install the standalone structure, you will install the client. You will install the administration tool. You will install the server. You will install the SQL Server database components. So this is pretty much it. The rest of the things are additional functionalities for other purposes. So I'm just going to discuss about things that are completely bare minimum necessary for installing Microsoft Dynamics now. So if you are going to have a standalone installation, as I said earlier, you will have these four components on your PC installed. So you'll have your client, and you can have it run all from my computer. Okay, it will take your username, the current username, and all you have to select as run all from my computer, and also the SQL Server database components. Okay, so this SQL Server database component will have a demo database from Microsoft for the Cronus company. It means Cronus is a generic company created by Microsoft for demo purposes. So you will find this Cronus company in Dynamics Nav. You'll find this Cronus company in Dynamics AX, and so on and so forth. So this is when you're installing the standalone. But once you want to install as a two-tier structure, so on the for example, you're installing on a server which has the SQL database, and it has the the nav server. So the two things that you're going to install for that is, or the three things rather, you will install the administration tool, you will install the server, and you will install the SQL Server components. Okay, so these three components will be installed on your server, and this client will be installed with the same installation setup. It will be installed on the client user PC. So whoever is going to access the nav server will have only this client installed on their PC. So for now, we're just going to install it as standalone. Okay, so we have selected all these components. We will just click next. Okay, so this area is where you define the parameters. Server name is usually your PC name, or you can have it as localhost. So localhost means this server that you're working on. It will take, if this value is localhost, it will take the name of the server. Dynamics Nav 90 is the instance name that the nav server instance. So every version has a nav instance. For example, 2015 is Dynamics Nav 80, 2016 is Dynamics Nav 90, 2017 is Dynamics Nav 100, and the current version that we are running on 2018 is Dynamics Nav 110. Okay, so this is for the NT service. Okay, you can have, if you can see, this is the user that you assign. You can have it as the network service, or you can specify a user here that you have in the admin user that you have in your system. Okay, so we're going to keep this as is. The other thing important here is the what you call the management service. These are necessarily the ports that the system uses to work. So there are 4 important ports for Dynamics Nav: 7045, 7046, 7047, and 7048. It is not necessary that you keep the same ports. You can change them. You can give them any port that is not currently occupied by any other software. So you can have it as you like. But these 4 ports, the management services port, the client services port, the SOAP services port, and the OData services port are necessary. Okay, so these are the settings that are bare minimum for the installation. The other thing that I would like to address here is the credential type. So there are 2 credentials that are important for us for now: the Windows and the username. Windows credential, what it means is that if your user who is going to use Navision has a user in the Active Directory, either in the Active Directory, or he has a user in the server itself, then the system will pick the same credentials that you have logged in with in your Windows account. It will pick the same credentials. It will find it either in the server or in the Active Directory based on your configuration. Okay, so if you select it as username, then the system will pop a message, a screen for entering the username and password whenever the user opens Dynamics Nav. So these 2 credentials are used for logging in. The third one is you can have your username and password right inside of Navision, which is usually not the case. Mostly they are managing it through Active Directory. Most of the clients are managing this through Active Directory. So this is pretty much the important thing. The other important thing I would like to address again here is the SQL Service database component. Okay, so this is the information of your database. Okay, from this is the server name, the SQL Server. Okay, which has the database on it. This is the instance, which I will show you. Let me just show you for a quick second. If I open my SQL Server Management Studio,
Mr. Mohammed Hassan, can I ask one question? Hello, Mohammed Hassan.
yes.
Yes, if I want 2 users in the same Windows, they are working and they can use separate Windows Nav, Microsoft Nav, but they are working in the same PC. From where I can make the setup? Yeah,
okay. So 1 second, please. I just need to show you one thing. Okay, if you can see here, this is how it's going to look once you install your SQL Server. Okay, so I'll connect here. Okay, so if you can just focus with me here, this first part is my server name, or whatever, or the PC name or the server name, whatever it is. And the second part after the backslash, this is the instance name. So this is the nav demo instance that is installed by Navision itself. Once you complete this setup, it will install this name. It will install this name. Okay, and this is going to be the database, this one. You will have these databases created through this setup. You can give it a separate name, you can create a separate instance with the separate name, so on and so forth. So this is the important thing. The question that Abdullah asked right now is quite simple. For example, if on my PC I have two users who are going to use Microsoft Dynamics Nav, okay, so I have two approaches here. I can either keep the credentials from here as Windows. I'll keep it as Windows, and I will create two users on my PC. So every user will log in from their own user, okay, from the Windows, and once they hit, once they open Nav, it will pick the same credentials that the user logged in with. Or I can keep it as username, okay, and I will define the user in my PC, the username and password in my PC, and it will ask every time that I need to enter the username and password for my Windows user. It will take the same username and password as my Windows user. Is it clear? The luck?
Yes, yes, it is clear with me. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Right. So this is pretty much it. Once you hit apply, it will install the Microsoft Dynamics Nav. One thing you need to keep in mind here is that, for example, if you have 2 or 3 versions of Microsoft Dynamics Nav on your PC, as I have currently on my PC, then you need to make sure that the ports should be unique to each version. So 7045 is already being used by another version of Microsoft Dynamics Nav. So what I'm going to do is simply give it a separate port. I would say that I will use this series for the ports. So it should be unique to each version, and it should also be unique to each instance. 4, 8. Okay, so these 4 ports I will just make them unique, and it will work perfectly fine. So once I click apply, the system will start installing. So I don't want to install again, so I will just click cancel and I will abort the installation. So this is pretty much regarding the installation. And another thing I need to cover here is how to have the users in Microsoft Dynamics Nav. So I'm just going to quickly open Microsoft Dynamics Nav and give you a glimpse of how you manage the users in Nav. Okay.
Mohammed Hassan, when you said Windows users, when they purchase, any customer purchase the license, he asks for 20 user or 30 user. When 2 or 3 working the same PC, it is like one user only, one license, or it is multiple license will be?
This part is this should have been covered by Selva in the previous session, but I will answer this. In Dynamics Nav, the users, when they say they have purchased 20 users, it does not mean only 20 users can be opened in a vision. What it means is it is concurrent license. It means that only 20 users can log in at the same time. So if the customer says that I have 50 users who are going to use Dynamics Nav, but at one time only 30 or 40 will log in. So we say that you buy a concurrent license of 30 or 40 as per your requirement. So once the 31 or 41 person wants to log in, the system will pop a message that your license does not allow this number of users to log in at the same time. So this is called the concurrent license. This is not user specific, this is session specific. What it means is how many sessions can be opened at the same time. Understood?
Yes, yes.
I need to check if Selva is with us. Selva is not. Okay. Right. So moving on towards the users, you can, this is, by the way, the global search of Dynamics Nav. This up here is the global search. You can search any entity, any page, anything from this global search. So I'm just going to search for users and open the first link. Right, so you can see here, I currently have only my user created in this PC, and we'll try to create another user. We click new, and usually you can give a username, or you can just pick the same username that you have on your on your, either on your Active Directory or on your server user itself. We're just going to click these three dots. It's going to open this area for me. If you have the username, if you remember the username, you can just put it here and it will search it for you. Or you can just go to advanced and find all the users that you have created on your PC. So I will, for example, I'll take this user. I have this user created on my PC. I will say I will pick this user, click OK. And you see it picked the same name. This is the server name, first of all, and you have this as the username. This the second part after the backslash, this is the username. Okay, so this is the server name or the PC name, whatever, and this is the username. Okay, so now this this will mean that if this person wants to log in, this user wants to log in, it will take the same password as their Windows password. You would not have to create a separate password for entering into Microsoft Dynamics Nav. So the other thing, once you create a user, is assigning user permissions and user roles, which is a very detailed session which we will cover in the upcoming sessions. So I hope it is clear as of now for this session, and I apologize for the sequel. We're not able to install it, but we will cover this in upcoming sessions.
Inshallah.
So any question from any of participants' side, from Adil, from
No,
Ahmad?
everything is clear up till now.
Abdullah, you have any questions up till now? Okay, right. So I'm going to assign you a task for today. I want you to create users in your PC, and I need you to assign them and create them in Microsoft Dynamics Nav. This is your first assignment. The second assignment is that I want you to document all the steps for installing Microsoft Dynamics Nav. Okay. You can either delete the current version of Dynamics Nav, or you can just follow the video that you will get the recording. But I want you to create a document for me that registers all the steps for installing Microsoft Dynamics Nav. Okay.
Okay.
Assign them in Nav the way we assigned here. See here in the Windows authentication. So created, assigned to the user name. Go to the advanced. You'll find all the users that are created in your list. Do this assign. All right, guys.
Okay.
All right, thank you.